Tonight, a Let's Get All That exclusive, Decision 1169. We take you now into the throne room of Castle Harmondale. Ambassadors Wright and Scale have been sent to arm the house, so the lords may debate in private. The golem stands guard beside the doors, while the butler frantically delivers maps, scrolls, food, and drink to his masters. The night is long. The discussion is arduous. Mama Vic and Princess J2, never tired thanks to their spells and potions. While they bicker, Flailfist gets bored, and Revagine gets drunk. Princess J2 wants Judge Fairweather. She thinks the war, while good for business, is bad for rulership. The party has needed to adventure this past year. Now they can relax in their new castle and profit from their success. They can be the ones responsible for bringing this costly Arathia-Avlee war to an end. Their people will be grateful. Arathia and Avlee will be grateful. The Wizards of Bracada will be grateful. And really, who cares about the Necromancers of Deja? Deja is awful. A terrible blighted place. And undead are disgusting. And really they violate the natural order of things. J2 is very much like Lady Loretta Fleece of Inroth. Vastly interested in money and power, but also technically a druid, interested in druidic things. Mama Vic wants Judge Sleen. She remembers what Judge Grey said. Arathia and Avlee care nothing for Harmondale, or its people, and especially not its rulers. These kingdoms have squabbled over Harmondale for centuries, without ever really wanting it. Lord Markham regularly held contests to just give it away. The best possible outcome for Harmondale, and its people, and its rulers, is for Arathia and Avlee to beat each other senseless, allowing an independent Harmondale not just to survive, but thrive. Judge Sleen will ensure the war continues, because the Necromancers want this war to continue for their own nefarious purposes. Do those purposes align with those of Harmondale? Not necessarily, but at least Deja is offering something in return. The Wizards of Bracada, instead, are bullies who hide their manipulative advances beneath a veneer of peace and prosperity. Rather than offering anything of worth, Ambassador Wright threatened the Lords of Harmondale if they refused to pick Fairweather. Vic will not be bullied. She wants the best deal for herself, her companions, and her subjects. And that's with Deja. Neither will back down. J2 wants to be loved and feared by people who are capable of both. Not undead. Vic doesn't want to be rigidly controlled like Arathia and Avlee by the whims of wizards. J2 imagines parades and festivals dedicated in her name. Vic can't imagine any real comfort until every threat to Harmondale is resolved. J2 begins a vicious streak of insults about the importance of an old hag, the unimportance of an old hag, and how there'd be no real future for her in rulership. Vic finally loses her patience and threatens to give J2 2 full hands of broken nails. It's ultimately Revagine who stops a fight from breaking out. Drunkenly stumbling between Vic and J2, Revagine speaks soothing words about how they're all on the same side and how they have to stick together. Arathia, Avlee, Bracada, Deja, they've all got an interest in Harmondale right now, and no one here wants to lose it, right? Vic and J2 could argue until the end of time, but it's time to cast a vote and move on with the consequences and their lives. Vic reluctantly backs down from a fight and agrees on holding a vote now. J2 is unconvinced and snarkily asks, "Well, what if we tie?" Revagine blinks, his eyes trying to focus on J2, and says, "Well, we ain't gonna tie because I'm voting for Sleen. Mama knows best. Wouldn't be a lie without her. Can't trust no wizards, a bunch of know-alls. If they knew everything, then they should have supported us from the start." Revacane's vote is no surprise. He's a pragmatic sort, caring primarily for his survival and his alcohol. He often ends up agreeing with Vic, possibly because she helps to keep him alive. She's understandably pleased, while a scowling J2 says, "You bozo, there's 4 of us. That's how we can tie." Everyone looks over at Flailfist. I'm not waking him, Revocade says. We can wait until morning, Vic says. No, J2 shouts. This gets decided now. Wake up! And so J2 casts her magic and instantly awakens Flailfist. Flailfist, a man far more interested in fighting than politics, a goblin who has dealt with greater racism and hatred than anyone else in this room, a bodybuilder who has enough meat on him to stop the slap of a baby troll, and an initiate into the 5 moves of doom. What? It's not a question. It's a potential death sentence. We need to make a choice, Flailfist. Fairweather or Sleen. You hold the deciding vote. Flailfist blinks, looking over at Revocade and Vic. You two want Sleen. Yep. Uh-huh. Flailfist looks over at J2. And you want Fairweather. The best choice, of course. Sounds decided to me. You can't sit this one out, Flailfist, J2 cries. Your vote matters. Everyone's does. You have to pick. Flailfist sighs, then reaches over for an apple on the table. I'll be able to fight no matter what, right? Yes! The goblin bites into the apple. And I'll face challenges no matter what, right? Yes? Then I decide to go to sleep and pick Judge Sleen. And if you wake me up again, Flailfist's hand closes around the apple, I will crush you. And so Decision 1169 came to a close. By a vote of 3-1, Sleen will be the next judge. I had not intended to do all of that, but by an amusing twist of fate, this episode fell right on an election day in the United States of America. Not for the presidency or for, the congressional midterms, but there are a number of elections taking place, either for, propositions or special elections, that sort of thing. I thought it'd be interesting to give the player characters some flavor here, a little bit of window into their interaction. Of course, I had already decided from the very start who I would be choosing. This isn't so much a concession to past Grimith, who did go with the Necromancers, although, there is that as well, satisfying myself in my past, but it's more along the lines of, how I built this party, and how the next party is going to be built. One of them was going to go with the Necromancers, and the other one was going to go with the Wizards, and this one is better fit to go with the Necromancers. Just a way of it. I'm also interested in showing off the promotion quests on the dark side, more so than I am the promotion quest on the light side. Everything just came up dark, and so we're going to be siding with the Necromancers. But now, as Flailfist says, we're going to sleep, or else he will crush us. Costs no food to sleep here. Oh, Flailfist is gonna be pissed.
No problem.
I probably should have just left him asleep. That'd be more fitting, but I ended up casting it anyway, right? I thought I was gonna fight that one.
No idea.
But then I remembered the golem, and I figured I'd let the golem handle it. Good work, golem. A random encounter in our own damn castle. There's a 10% chance of those proccing random encounters almost everywhere you sleep. Except for, say, Ronthrax's Cave. Well, Ronthrax is active. In which case it's 100% of Great Dragons. Anyway, after Flailfist beats and crushes the bats senseless, and looks over at J2, who frantically gestures towards the bats, everyone goes back to sleep. The next day, that's funny that a random encounter would pop up right there. It is... Flailfist winks. obviously in a better mood now. He's just glad that a decision has been made, and people are moving on. He didn't really mean that he would crush J2. Although she had pushed him enough, who can say, right? Is Flailfist so simple, or is he more than he appears? Oh, man. Good times. It'd be funny, like, the bats appear and J2 frankly wakes him up and, like, the bats are dispatched and Flailfist, like, looks over and said, "I told you that if you woke me up again, I would crush you." There's, like, this awkward moment where, like, everyone looks at each other. Just kidding. He winks and goes back to sleep.
Customers?
I choose you. A wise decision. You won't regret this, believe me. I knew you were going to make this decision, and my bags are already packed and ready to go. All you need to do now is get me to my new home, and I'll take care of the rest. There you go. And he's with us until we make our decision. Obviously, we could cart him across the universe if we so desired. Let's go. That was fun and flavorful. That random encounter, that was great. There are a bunch of mushrooms here still aren't there. There sure are. A power of 1, but through J2's incredible alchemy skill, I can make real use out of those mushrooms, buffing up potions that we find. You know, even these normal reagents like Widowsweet berries, the power of 1 can be pretty powerful in our hands, too. I think at some point in the next few videos, I'm going to have a dedicated alchemy video where I show off... I think there's 1 or 2 layered potions that I haven't created, though I'm fairly confident we've seen them all. But I show off the crafting of white potions. And provide some thoughts on them, along with Master Alchemy as a whole. But this video is solely about the decision, and it is cutscene time.
Perhaps we should draw the line here.
That certainly doesn't seem fair to me. How about here?
No. Here, I say.
No. The line should be here.
I've never seen so many fresh corpses in my life. If only we could make our enemies fight each other more often. Get up! Follow me!
You have made the right choice, my lords. The leader of Deja, Archibald Ironfist, would like to speak with you. From the Deja Moors, enter the Hall of the Pit, and make your way to the pit. Archibald awaits you in Castle Gloaming in the pit. Try not to keep him waiting. Once your ability and loyalty are proven, you will be allowed to help in more interesting ways. Deja is very pleased the way things have turned out. You'll notice that our decision has come with a UI change, which was easier for me to read back in 1999 than it is now, I assure you. Red, italicized text on a black background. Oof. Remember when the style was a thing and how cool it was? That's cool with a K. That's actually Kewl. Our next main quest is to enter the pit from the Hall of the Pit in the Deja Moors. then talk to Archibald in Castle Gloaming in the pit. It's another reason why, I'd really say that might not be the primary reason, but that's one of the key reasons why past Grimith chose the dark side, chose to side with the Necromancers, because there was a connection with Archibald Ironfist, whom I'd seen not just in Heroes of Might and Magic 2, but in Might and Magic 6. And although at that time I hadn't finished Might and Magic 6, I still went to Castle Ironfist into the library, and I saw him standing there as a statue, and I thought that was cool. Just that connection between the games. We also have some history to read. You'll note that the Great Contest ended and our arrival occurred on February 12th, 1168. What is today now? February the 2nd, 1169. It's been almost a year since we first arrived. Peace. You win. My lords chose Lord Devon Sleen as the arbiter for the Treaty of Harmondale. Though he has a reputation as a skillful diplomat, his hands-off style has frequently led to unnecessary conflicts between parties seeking his aid. The February 2nd, 1169 negotiations between Queen Catherine of Arathia and King Eldridge Parson of Avley are a perfect example. Unable to agree to a proper division of land, the negotiations swiftly ended and the war resumed. Many, many deaths later, the war officially ended in a stalemate. In a historic development, the peace agreement provided for the creation of the Kingdom of Harmondale, naming my lords as the rulers and leaving to them the entire responsibility of administering the kingdom. A responsibility they will surely pawn off on scribes, adjutants, and the butler, who should now be butler major domo. Since evasion is not imminent, as it was in the case of the ill-fated King Vespin, hopes are high that the Kingdom of Harmondale will last a very long time. While Ambassador Scale of Deja seemed pleased with the choice of Arbiter, Ambassador Wright was furious. He has issued, in the name of his government, a warning to my lords never to set foot in Bracada, on pain of death. He has, however, indicated a willingness to continue the dialogue between our countries. Obviously, he hopes to extract some sort of concessions from us in the future. We won that war because we seized the trumpet for ourselves and delivered it to Judge Gray. Either Arathia or Avley can win that war, but there is the third option. And of course, you could just not involve yourself with the war at all. I think Arathia is more weighted to win in it than Avley. I don't think it's just a coin flip, but I honestly don't know. Anyway, the rest of this video is going to be spent talking to our subjects. A bit of dialogue has changed here in Harmondale. Not that much, but a little bit. As we tour our lands that were once rife with goblins, ever so long ago. How peaceful it has all become now. So you are the new Lords of Harmondale? You must be new here. We've been ruling for almost a year. Nothing new here. Oh, no, there is. Looks like the trophy fell into the hands of the Arbiter. I hear there was quite a fight over it. There was. Very much a fight, I assure you. Raven still talking about the White Cliff Caves. As if we've never been there.
It's weak.
Roland of Inroth. Rumors have been trickling out of Nyon that King Roland of Inroth may still be alive. Some warlocks have said that they personally saw him when they met with the foul Cregan. The rumors also say that the Cregan are keeping him in a cage and mistreating him horribly. So, bit of lore here. The Night of Shooting Stars happened. And that's when the Cregan arrived. shortly thereafter, there were reports in Inroth of a massive mammoth army of devil creatures that were taking over the countryside. Roland mustered his entire army, which last saw action in the Succession Wars between himself and his brother, Archibald, and met out to meet this devil army, but it turned out there was a traitor. I think it was an air magician, like a wizard, with Roland, who was working alongside the Kriegans, and pretty much delivered unto the Kriegans the entire, like, Inrothian host. Inrothian host entirely slaughtered, except for this traitor, Roland, and one other person whose name I've forgotten. Slips my mind. He's kidnapped before this, like several years before the start of Might and Magic 6, which is why Nikolai, Iron Fist, is ruling. Alongside the regent, Wilbert Humphrey. And of course, Queen Catherine, with the death of her father, went here to Arathia, thus engaging in all the events of Heroes of Might and Magic 3. You don't see Roland in Might and Magic 6. He's been missing this entire time. But you do hear word now. The Kriegans still have him. And of course, rebellions. Not that I think you're wicked, my lords. Oh no. Of course not. Nothing wicked about us. It looks like the consequences of your choice are just beginning, my lords. I hope you chose wisely. Do note that all of this effectively happened within the span of a day. Presumably, like, the entire war is happening, like, behind the scenes between Arathia and Avley. And, like, the actual treaty forming the Kingdom of Harmondale is going to happen later. But that event, for us, is over and done with, and we've moved on to the dark side.
Oh, give me a break.
J2's still not too pleased. I am sorry, but I am permitted to train you no longer. You will need to find a new master to learn from. We can now pick up our second promotion quests, but they will have to be from people who are willing to teach us the path of darkness. Bartholomew Hume is not one. If memory serves, his promotion quest would deliver you to an... I was about to call it ancient, that wouldn't be true. Dilapidated, you'd say, out of the way, Temple of Ba in Avley. Temple of Ba was a doomsday cult created by the Kriegans to help, like, foster the ruination of government and the ascension of Kriegans to power. Might and Magic 6, they are very prominent. They offer incredibly cheap healing, and they are very much on the side of the people, offering goodwill, causing the people to severely question whether the Iron Fist had lost the mandate of heaven, the right to rule. However, after the defeats of the Kriegans in Might and Magic 6 and in Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the Kriegans are very much reeling. The Temple of Ba has been discovered for the horrific thing that it is, and it is practically non-existent now. Except for one temple in Might and Magic 7 that Bartholomew Hume would direct us to. On the Dark Path, it's entirely optional. We'll probably go there anyway, though, because I like the flavor of the place. I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars. We're gonna stop in and talk to Torrent. The death of Judge Grey was a blow to all of us. I hope his replacement does his legacy justice. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not at all. Nothing new to say. Oh, good day, my lords. I must say the people are changing their minds about your chances of survival. Everyone is saying how wonderful it is to have stable rulers in the castle. Those two are both skilled trainers who just talk about, like, themselves and the people you can go to next. Cardrick the Steady is here offering Bow Grandmaster, but we're going to have to be promoted first to Master Archer or Sniper. Speaking of Master Archer, you have chosen the path of darkness. I will never help you improve, for fear you will use your skills to advance your selfish goals. Very well, Lawrence Mark. Don't think either of you have anything incredibly new to say. We'll poke our heads in. You. Monk training. Yeah. Of course, you're a body magic expert. Don't you rah-rah-rah at me. Don't cause any trouble, what the hell ever.
Do you need medical attention? Take care.
We don't need any medical attention. We're good, thanks.
Greetings and salutations.
Deidre Brewer here is also willing to tell you about how things are on the up and up for Harmondale. You're damn right they are. Let's celebrate. Revocade.
Welcome to the Earth Guild.
Learn earth and water magic.
Welcome to the Air Guild.
That's not water.
Welcome to the Water Guild.
Good. Wait.
Greetings and salutations.
He'll come with you for free. He costs you nothing. It's a trick.
Greetings and salutations.
Wait. That's not the person I was expecting. There you go. Diana.
Greetings.
Diedrich. Rebellions, warlocks, tunnels. The choice. Someone else talking about the choice. I don't know whether anyone else's dialogue across the continent really changes in response to everything, but the folks here in Harmondale talk a bit different now. That we are in the other phase of the game. Arby. A chef, of all things. How about that? That's really all there is to say about the decision. At least in this episode. We will continue to see the repercussions of it throughout the rest of the series. If nothing else, then because of the interface.
Hello.
It was nice to see you in action, Golem. You typically don't get to see him in action in a playthrough. Typically. Now it's just the butler here. The ambassadors have moved on. So, how much more gameplay is left? Well, we gotta go to the pit. We'll also undoubtedly be taking multiple trips to Celeste. But we'll have to pop in there at least once so that I can town portal to it in the future. Now, Ambassador Wright wasn't kidding. The golems Imbricata, except for the ones maybe near the School of Sorcery, will attack us on sight. And folks in Celeste will be hostile towards us as well, whereas those in the pit will be as amiable as creatures of the night can be. We'll have a whole new round of promotion quests to do, though I'm sure I won't do all of them. But at the very least, we'll discuss them, and I'll probably discuss their light counterparts as well. At least some of those light counterparts. Beyond that, we have at least been to Nyon, though we have not explored it in its entirety. There's also the maze, which I barely remember, but we'll definitely be dipping in there, and that will be a challenge for my brain. There'll be one quest we have to complete in there, and then another thing that we'll have to get as part of a quest. There's also something waiting for us in Thunderfist Mountain that we'll explore later. There's the Land of the Giants that we're going to be going to, and then actually be in the Land of the Giants, and play around there, maybe fight a Mega Dragon. The Kriegans are hiding out there, maybe Roland of Inroth is there too. A number of other places to go. I'd say the series is more than halfway over, though. Had I, just due to all the exploration I've done already, and also all the exploration I'm going to continue to do. I mean, hell, you could have this entire game done in less than an hour. But we're not speedrunning it. And if you were, like, trying to in-game time speedrun it wise, you're probably looking at... Well, you'd be looking at a time of, like, 4 months and change, because you have to wait for the Arathian-Avli War to end. Just gotta wait for it to expire, so, like, I don't know, 4 months and 15 to, like, 4 months and 23 days? I don't know the exact time. Anyway, folks, that takes care of it. This was Decision 1169. I'm out of here. Bye now.